Hey, so I've checked my levels, I've listened to the video back, but I'm going to make another quick rant with no information in front of me just to see whether or not this is actually good quality. If it's a decent quality, then I might go ahead and try and actually do stuff with facts and figures, but we'll see how we go. I like ranting. Whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter, at least it brings up discussion. If anyone ever watches. So anyway, this one I want to talk about toxic masculinity. Now, one of the issues I've got with a lot of videos out there explaining ridiculous stuff is if it takes anywhere from 2 hours to, 30 minutes, 2 hours to explain a particular concept, chances are it's very convoluted and it really needs to brainwash you in order to start believing it. Now, I don't know if toxic masculinity means that all masculinity is toxic or whether it doesn't, but regardless, it doesn't matter. It is a throwaway term, and the reason being is because there are toxic people no matter what gender. Just because you have a particular gender does not automatically make you toxic. If you can have toxic masculinity, therefore you can have toxic femininity. Why do I say that? Because where are the comparisons coming from? Where is the toxic comparison coming from masculinity? How can you say that masculinity is toxic? Is there any particular trait in there that's toxic? I don't think so. When you compare it to femininity, maybe the reason you think it's toxic is because you believe that the feminine traits are more healthy than the masculine traits. And then there's something wrong with you because they are different. They are neither are toxic, they are different. When we're talking about toxic things, personalities can be toxic. You can have a toxic female, you can have a toxic male, but neither specific gender is toxic. So that's just completely dismantled. There's no real... it is a throwaway comment. But the thing that gets me is that they will make comments like this and they will spend 2 or 3 hours indoctrinating you like a sheep in order to believe this stuff and change your bias. Because as I was saying with the Iraq War, if you have a particular bias when you come into an argument, you're less likely to believe the other side. It's a very tricky place to be in the middle. Or even left and right, or even up and down and diagonals, because any other view that you have might automatically be dismissed just because of a gut feeling. So the thing is, we need to go on facts, certain facts and rational arguments. You can't really go on your feelings, especially when it comes to when new information comes in, because that goes with confirmation bias and all that kind of stuff. Now, the feminist movement kind of changed and came out of the atheist movement, and a lot of the things that I'm seeing with third wave feminism or feminism today, because I don't even understand all the fancy words really, is that it behaves as if it's a religion. What it does is it tells you that one particular thing is not good and not healthy, and anything that comes out of that can automatically be discredited. I'm talking about patriarchy. The systematic oppression of anyone and everyone, yet also giving them privilege at the same time. Why? How? That's not even possible. They're confused about their own patriarchy, what the system actually does. And none of these things are systematic. They're not automatically built in. It's just like it doesn't exist. But it works the exact same way as a religion. See, if you're a Christian, a Catholic, or whatever, you can say, no, that comes from the devil. Your preacher can say, the world is the devil's. The world owns, the devil owns the world. He created the world. Therefore, anything out of the world, worldly, earthly pleasures, are to be denied because they are ultimately bad. They are a sin. Then you're not going to you're not going to listen to those things because you've been told that they're automatically wrong. They don't fit with your ideas, so you automatically throw them away. Sorry, I'm not going to cut that out because I can't be bothered. So the same thing happens with patriarchy. Feminists aren't going to believe that because everything that comes out of patriarchy is automatically designed to oppress anyone who's not white or male. And as Gavin McGuinness said, all the things that white men get told they're privileged work even like they're even more for Asian people. I mean, Asian people study really hard, they work really hard, they're less likely to fall victim to violent crime. They earn more. They work later. Well, where's their privilege? You know, why can't you dismantle their privilege, like Gavin says? And you know, it's probably, and it's just part of their culture. I mean, I don't think it's racist. I mean, cultures are different, you know, and I think that's fine. I'm not a full believer in diversity, but you know, I don't think we can all coexist in a perfect melting pot. But I do believe human beings can get along even with their differences. It just depends on the differences. Say, for instance, you know, you have a particular country that runs a particular way, and there's another country or another religion or whatever that wants to completely destroy that country or those ideas. Then they're going to be incompatible, aren't they? I mean, it's fairly simple. Some things can be completely incompatible. You know, there is a bit of grey area in the world. Not everything is black and white. The solution you used last week's not going to work next week. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I think I've covered a lot of things. I really want to get into, racism at some point when I actually get everything all organised. But you know what? I'm not going to put a list of things that I'm going to go to, and I'm not actually going to plan it because it depends what mood I'm in, what rant I want to do. So we're going to go from there. Let me know whether the microphone's fine. Alright. Bye.